What's up? I hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to show you 10 essential exercises I wish I knew of when I was 15 years old. These exercises only, if performed correctly, will set you up for athletic success. As a teenager, you build up the base for your future athleticism. This is where you can either mess up and set yourself up for future career-ending injuries, or you set yourself up for success by building a bulletproof body that's able to compete at the highest level. Now, before I tell you about the exercises, I want to explain something to you that is essential to understand. I'm 100% sure you've watched so many fitness videos, different exercises, programs, what to do, what not to do. People trying to sell you something by showing you some fancy drills. Bro, you're still a teenager, you're no professional athlete, you're no elite athlete. So you don't have to do all the fancy drills, the fancy exercises you see the pros doing, or you see those Instagram fitness influencers showing you and telling you about. This is key to understand. That's why I'll try to give you a good example that you can imagine a little bit more what I'm talking about. Let's say a professional footballer has reached 96% of his athletic potential. Now, for him to improve by only 1% to get to the 97% of his athletic potential is a huge step for him, and it's not easy at all. He has to pay attention to the little details to be able to improve even more. Let's take a circle, for example. The circle you draw is 96% perfect. Now to improve that circle by only 1% to get to 97%, imagine how detailed you gotta work, but how little the difference will be. For a professional athlete, it's definitely worth chasing that 1% by focusing on these little details. He already has the almost perfect circle, but you don't. You focusing on the little details, the fancy drills, won't get you the change you're looking for. You first need to develop the foundation, the base of your athleticism. Let's say 80 to 90% of your full potential. Now, these are just random percentages I'm throwing around, but I want you to understand that what makes the difference is the basics. It's not these fancy drills you're seeing on the internet. I mean, if you talk about technical ability, the majority of the pro footballers are just much better, more efficient, and more consistent with the basics. The same applies to the athletic side. The main difference between your physique and the one of a professional footballer is the foundation they've built that you still need to build. And by foundation, I'm not talking about muscles, bigger muscles you don't have yet. I'm talking about the things that aren't that obvious, the things that people tend to forget about. That's the tendons, the ligaments, the connective tissue strength, and the mobility. To give you an example, let's look at the best footballer to ever play the beautiful game, Lionel Messi. Bro, his ankle mobility is crazy, his hip mobility is crazy. He's able to get in those deep positions, and that's why he is able to move so quickly and get out of things, situations you can't even imagine. Now, the other thing I was talking about, the connective tissue, is what you don't see, but what is actually key. The connective tissue, such as tendons and ligaments, along with strong muscles, build your foundation. Now, no, I don't want to give you any biomechanical lessons here. I know that's not what you clicked on this video for, but I know based on my own experience, it helps a lot to understand the basics of why we perform certain movements. Look, how to build strong tendons and ligaments can be made very complicated and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Just move through the full range of motion by performing long-range exercises or even extreme long-range exercises. And if you don't know yet what long-range exercises are, watch this video I've made about a month ago where I'll go into more detail on how to transform your training success. Perform exercise in a way that not only your muscles get challenged, but the joint itself is under a lot of pressure so that the connective tissue around it develops properly. Without strong tendons and ligaments that stabilize the joint and transmit the force you create in your muscle, your beloved muscles won't get you far. Probably you didn't know, but your body has a built-in self-defense mechanism where it will hold back the force output in order to defend itself from injury. This will happen when your tendon is not strong enough to accept and absorb the force you're creating in your muscle. You don't have to understand all of this. It's not essential for you to know. But what's essential for you to know is the 10 exercises I'm about to show you right now. All 10 of these exercises play an essential role in your athleticism. And if you master all of these 10 movements, I guarantee, I can confidently say, you will be ahead of your competition. The first exercise, the first target we're looking for is a full range pull-up. As an athlete, you want to have a strong upper body, but you want to match that upper body strength with your lower body strength. That's why the second target is to match your pull-up strength to your strict Marty St. Louis Nordic. If you can perform 10 pull-ups, for example, you want to match that with 10 strict Marty St. Louis Nordics. This may be a much harder target than just the 10 pull-ups, but it's a target worth chasing. Because the hamstrings are the greatest point of force for horizontal speed. Being world-class at Nordics is the key to getting faster, and also proven to reduce hamstring injuries significantly. The third and the fourth targets are push-ups, full range push-ups, matched in strength by slant board squats. Notice how with the first four targets, first four exercises, we already trained the complete back and front side of both our upper and lower body. The next target, the fifth exercise, focuses on the hip flexors. Studies have shown that sprinters have significantly bigger hip flexors, so why not aim for world-class hip flexors? We do that by including the fifth exercise, an L-sit, that's matched in strength by ATG split squats. With the L-sit, we strengthen the hip flexors in a shortened position. With the ATG split squats, we lengthen and strengthen the hip flexors, so we get strength through length. By applying the strength through length concept with the ATG split squat, we lower the risk of injury and we increase the power a muscle can create, because a longer muscle can create much more force than a shortened muscle. With the next two targets, we hit the back of our lower leg by performing knee over toe calf raises on a single leg, and we hit the front of our lower leg with tib raises. Next, we got the target of slow back extensions that will really hit your posterior chain, your glutes, your hamstrings, and your low back. And last but not least, my favorite exercise, my recommendation where you have to get world class at, is backwards and forward sled. By going as much backwards as we go forward, we strengthen our decelerators as much as we strengthen our accelerators, and therefore we don't get out of balance. Every single one of these exercises is scalable to virtually any level, so that no matter where you're at right now, you can start your journey right now, right here, without any excuses. With the pull-up, you can start by fighting down the eccentric movement. With the Nordics, you can start by putting something in front of you and fighting down the eccentric until you hit that object. For push-ups, just start higher than on flat ground. For slant board squat, you can assist yourself when going down. For L-sits, you can begin by sitting and lifting one leg at a time. For the single leg knee over toe calf raise, just perform it with both legs. For the tib raises, start by leaning onto a wall and doing the same movement there. And for the back extensions, simply regress the range of motion and assist yourself. With sledding, you will automatically find your own level that's challenging enough. The key for all of these exercises really is to stay in a pain-free range of motion at all times. Bear that in mind. Rather regress the exercise if you're not comfortable, if you don't feel like you're ready yet. Truly, this exercise selection is no rocket science. It's just common sense. We hit both front and back of our upper body through a full range of motion with the pull-up and the push-up. We hit both front and back of our lower body with full range slant board squats and full range Nordic curls, as well as tib raises and calf raises. And we further train our posterior chain through back extensions, and we do cardio in a balanced way by sliding forward as well as backward. There you have it. There you have the 10 exercises I wish I had when I was 15 years old. When I was 15 years old, I was doing a bunch of nonsense, bunch of half reps, bunch of exercises that didn't get me anywhere, that did do me worse, that created imbalances, that created shortened muscles, whatever. That's all in the past. We gotta move forward. I'm still working on all of these standards, and you should as well, because if you're watching this as a 15, as a 16, as a 17, 18-year-old, you still have so much room to improve, especially on your foundation. Work on your foundation, really get strong there, and you will have it so much easier in your future. I genuinely hope I could help someone that's maybe in the same situation as I was back then and is now going to perform some of these movements, implement them into their training, or just simply just perform these 10 movements and you'll be fine. I can tell you that. All 10 of the exercises I've just told you about feature in the Young Athlete Roadmap program from Ben Patrick, aka Knees Over Toes Guy. So if you want to join the ATG program, I can highly recommend that. And there is a link in my description. You just click on there and you'll get $20 off your first month when you subscribe. If you're looking for someone that can help you program these exercises, that will coach your form, that will motivate you to keep pushing, DM me on Instagram. I offer coaching and I also answer all questions you have. Just DM me there and we'll see us the next time, I guess. Peace.